So welcome back everybody, Mike here. It is Saturday afternoon. It's beautiful out. It's sunny, no humidity, perfect day. A little cloudy this morning, but I managed to get all the mowing done, weed eating done, and I painted a bucket on my tractor, which some people probably find that odd, but I don't know. I try to keep things nice. But anyway, I have some big news. I found the buck that I'm after. I got a good picture of him, and I will I'll put that at the end of the video. But yeah, he's a pretty nice 8-point, and kind of excited. So archery season here in Pennsylvania starts September 30th, and so lots of vacation time, especially around Halloween. That's when the rut kicks in. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Today I want to talk about why I chose a Kubota tractor, and I'm going to go over the specs on this L3901, but not in tons of detail. All that information is readily available, on Kubota's website or dealer brochures or whatever. But I want to talk about why, what made me buy the Kubota. And but first, we'll do a walk around of this, and I'll show you my tractor. So this is my L3901 Kubota. I've had this about 2 years, actually a little over 2 years. I have 149 hours on it. But the amount of work that I did in that 148 hours is amazing. It has a hydrostatic transmission, a low, medium, and high range, meaning you have infinite speed control. This tractor has a 111 cubic inch 4-cylinder diesel engine that puts out 37.5 gross horsepower and 30.6 PTO horsepower. This right here, that is the most talked about piece of equipment on the internet. Well, as far as tractor forums go, that is the diesel particulate filter. And what that does, it traps soot that comes out of the engine. Once the canister has accumulated a certain amount of that soot, then it'll want to do like a burn cycle, which means it actually injects a little bit of fuel in there, starts a small fire, and that burns the soot. And I heard this will continue to work for like 3,000 hours until it gets plugged. Nobody knows yet. I mean, I haven't heard anything. But at that point, it should cost a couple $100 to have it cleaned. There has been so much talk, like on tractor forums, equipment forums, about these Tier 4 diesel engines, and a lot of uneasiness and people concerned. People picking specific tractors that are less horsepower so they don't have to deal with that, and they're worried about future concerns, things like that. I don't know. I think it's all for nothing, really. I don't think it's that big a deal. It's the hand that these manufacturers were dealt, and they found ways to meet the emissions controls. This was Kubota's solution. I haven't had any troubles with it. Do I think it's stupid? Absolutely. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're going down. I go down to the wood pile here or something, and you're ready to shut the tractor off, and it wants to do a regen. And sure, you can override it, but next time you start it, it's going to want to do it. And so you crank the RPMs up a little bit and let it do its thing, and you're burning more fuel. The tractor's running more than it needs to be. Just doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is. I've had, I think, 4, maybe 5 burns on this one, and like I said, it's 149 hours. And a lot of people, they get all concerned, like, oh, something, my tractor won't start, and the first thing they want to check is the diesel particulate filter. Or it shuts off. If your tractor shuts off, I wouldn't look at that filter. That wouldn't be the first thing that I looked at. It's probably a safety switch somewhere. On this model, it's probably the seat switch. I'll show you that. This little thing right here. If your tractor shuts off, that is the first thing you check. Or just kind of slide over in the seat a little bit. So as I was saying, I'm not going to go over every last detail on my tractor. All that information is readily available. What I want to talk about is why I chose Kubota. And it's pretty simple, really. I am what you would call a loyal consumer. In other words, if I buy a product and it meets or exceeds my expectations and the dealer treats me fairly, there's a very high probability that I will buy another one. I'll be a repeat customer. And that's the case with this tractor. This is the 3rd one that I've had. Now that initial purchase years ago when I bought I think it was a 2650, that one, I had no idea what I was looking for. I mean, I'm not shopping around. It was before the internet, you know what I mean? You're going to dealers, looking at tractors. I was young, didn't know a whole lot. Not that I do now, but I knew even less then. And but I went to a guy out the road that had a Kubota for years. You'd always see him out there in the fields in that orange tractor. So I talked to him, and I'm like, how do you like this thing? And he says, I love it. You know, and he starts telling me about it, and I learned a little bit. And that's the reason I have a Kubota today, is because I respected this guy's opinion. And I can't recommend that enough. Go talk to people. I mean, you can compare all the specs. You can look at all the YouTube videos that the dealers put out. And I mean, it's good information, but you can take it all with a grain of salt. You know, each manufacturer is going to have the edge on maybe one or two things of another one. And that's what they're going to want to show you all the time. I watched a video the other day. And nothing against John Deere's. Like I said, if that guy at the road had a John Deere years ago, there's a good chance this would be a John Deere behind me. But he didn't. But anyway, I'm watching this video the other day, and they're talking about the plastic hood on a John Deere versus the metal hood on the Kubota. And they're dropping stuff on the hood and saying it'll bounce off the plastic. And that's supposed to be the selling point. I'm thinking to myself, you know, if you buy a tractor because you're planning on bouncing stuff off the hood, maybe you shouldn't get a tractor. It's just me talking, I don't know. But yeah, so do your own research, but get out and talk to normal people that own these things when you're going to make a purchase. That's what I did years ago, and that's why I ended up with a Kubota. What I use this tractor for is I maintain about 90 acres of property, and it's almost all woods, so it's not like I'm spending hours and hours brush hogging or mowing fields or anything like that. But I do maintain about 3/4 of a mile driveways, gravel drives. I brush hog and maintain about 1.75 miles of trails that I have all through the woods. A couple food plots, and firewooding. Can't forget. How could I forget firewooding? Look at all this wood. I'm a huge firewood guy. So that's what I use this tractor for. Oh, like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please click subscribe and hit the like button, and share them with anyone that you know that may be looking for a tractor. Maybe they'll enjoy them or get some information out of it. And at the end of this video, big buck. It's the one I got my eye on. I'll show you a picture here at the end. Thanks.